Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier, and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. Welcome, everybody, to our weekly live stream. If you happen to be new to the live stream, we do this every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, so consider clicking that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss future live streams. It's great to see everybody again. Like I said, we do our best to do this on a weekly basis. As you just saw, the promo for People of Video, which is the conference that I'm hosting in Albany, New York, May 2nd and 3rd, 2020, coming up here. It's 86 days away. It seems like time has flown by. I still have a lot of work to do, but everything is coming together. Super excited to be able to bring the industry's experts to Albany, New York, and to just drop some serious knowledge over the 2-day event so people here on the East Coast and in the Northeast can get that one-on-one experience to really learn from these people, pick their brains, hear from them one-on-one, meet other creators who are trying to build a business around their content. It really is a game changer from, trying to have YouTube related conversations with your family and friends. Doesn't usually work out that way, but man, get in a room with 150, 200 other people, like-minded people who are all trying to do what you're trying to do, and it can really start to put things in perspective and help you to really crush it here on YouTube. So great to see everybody out there in the chat before the live stream even started. You guys are awesome. I am going to jump in the chat and say hello to everybody here in just a minute, but another week, more YouTube. Hopefully it is going well for you. I have had interesting experiences here on YouTube. YouTube is kind of a funny thing sometimes where you can't always just work harder to get more success. Sometimes there are ebbs and flows that you got to roll with. And I always say it's not your peaks that define your success, but how you react to those valleys that really set the people who are successful on YouTube apart from those who are not. So we are going to jump in the chat, say hello to everybody out there. It is great to see you once again. Also, there's something I also want to talk to you. I hope I won't forget. But let's see, Fully Involved is out there as well. Zugomugo, Galaxy Gamer, Ted Video Zeus, who actually made that promo video that you just watched for People of Video. So thank you so much to Brian for that. We have Aaron out there as well. Benny, good to see you. Trip on Two Wheels. Brank Ant, Inside the Lab, great to see you as well. Uberman Tampa, Mystic Souls. Who else we have out here? We have Adam Kuzer. Good to see you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Galaxy Gamer Ted, I think we got Arkansas Diamond Miner out there as well. Make sure we don't miss anybody. No Dough Acres. Thea Topics. Jay Spence. Trip on Two Wheels, I think we got. Cordell the King. Kathy Williams. Is it G. Michelle or G. Michael Jr.? Depending on how that's pronounced. Sahela's Simple Cuisine. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us here on the Creator Fundamentals live stream, where we will answer your YouTube questions. So if you do have a question, just tag at Creator Fundamentals in the chat, and I will do my best to answer that question to the best of my ability. Let's see who. Mohammed Shah out there as well. Ravens Videos 1. You didn't know. Good to see you out there as well. So how has YouTube been going for you guys this year and this month specifically? It has been a little slower for me than I would like, but I guess that's true every day. If you are like me, then you probably check analytics about 50 times a day just to see how everything's running. But the numbers are never high enough, I guess, is the moral to that story. But where are you from? I am from Albany, New York, if that question is directed towards me. Up here where we're hosting People of Video. Let's Play RC's out there as well. Good to see you. I guess that's where I live. Technically, where I'm from is a bit longer story because my father was in the Navy. So I was born in Virginia. Little Creator Fundamentals trivia. I was born in Portsmouth, Virginia. And then we traveled all up and down the East Coast, but finally settled here in upstate New York. Loved your thumbnail video. Thank you so much. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, TubeBuddy provides a great little interface to make custom thumbnails. So if you're not making custom thumbnails, definitely check out the video on my channel that I just released about how to make custom thumbnails without leaving YouTube, because TubeBuddy is a plugin that you can install, and it integrates right into the YouTube interface. So when you upload a video, on that same upload wizard screen, you can actually drill in and create a custom thumbnail. So super powerful stuff, really streamlines the process for you. And if you're getting into custom thumbnails, I highly recommend you give that a try, because it is a very handy tool to do that. Creator Fundamentals YouTube is rumored to be removing demonetization. What are your thoughts on that? I'd have to hear a lot more about that, because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because there's for as long as advertisers create the revenue on YouTube, those advertisers are going to have a say in the process, because if they don't like it, they don't spend their money on YouTube. So there's always going to be that element to it. Hey, Michael Kinney, good to see you. There's another speaker from the people of video in the chat. Great to see you, sir. Let's see, working on subscribers and views. TubeBuddy's really great, to be honest. Oh, so one of the questions that I had, and for any of you that are concerned, so anytime that you allow a third-party app to interact with YouTube, there is some phrasing and basically permissions that you have to allow. And it says something, you give this app the right to, control stuff on your channel, delete videos, etc. That wording is actually YouTube's wording. So don't let that scare you from TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is an absolutely solid company. I know everybody that works there. I've had many a conversation directly in person with the CEO, Phil, over at TubeBuddy. They're great people, and you do not have to worry about compromising your YouTube channel by giving permission to TubeBuddy to do that. So, Craig, Portsmouth, the old shipyard. Heaven on earth, nerds. Yeah, my father was actually stationed in Norfolk when I was born, and I was born at the Portsmouth Naval Hospital. Going deep into the backstory. All right, let's see. All right, we are going to do something here real quick. All right. So here's what I'll do. I'm gonna, Video Zoo's already muted that. So Cordell the King, we don't really do shout outs. Shout outs aren't really something that's going to help you and your channel. But the thing about my live streams is I tend to say hello to everybody anyway. So you can consider that your shout out. But I would recommend that you don't go on live streams and ask people to shout you out, because A, it's not going to do anything in terms of growth for you. So, and B, it's kind of a kind of a frowned upon thing. So here I'm seeing, let's see here, make sure, okay, that's better. I was looking at my screen going, wait, I'm not quite framed right, and I realized I was scrolled slightly off the page. So that's what happens. You do your live stream at the end of the day after you've, used all your brain power up, and it's real easy to fool me. Ridge Mallory out there as well. Red Dread Redemption, hello to you. At any point, is it smart to turn off my subscriber numbers? That way it's not visual. So I don't actually recommend that you turn off your subscriber numbers. To me, anytime I see somebody who doesn't have their subscriber count visible, my thought is that they're hiding it because it's small. So I think that's what a lot of people think. Not too many people have a really big subscriber count and decide to hide it. So you're not really tricking anybody by hiding the subscriber count. I think it's much better that people know exactly where you are in your journey here on YouTube, and that you just roll with it, because people are going to support you at every different size of your channel. And I think it's a much more transparent approach. And I think it actually benefits you to display it no matter where it is. If you only have 100 subscribers, don't try to pretend like you have, 50,000, because if you have quality content, then quality content is going to get you where you need to be. And that's just how you have to roll. So Adam, been sub to you for about 2 years now, man. Good to see you still growing on here. Thank you so much, Adam. I do appreciate it. Slow and steady. That's kind of the approach. And that's basically what I try to tell people here. Yes, there are going to be channels that really step in it and just take off right away. But one of the things that I found most common in channels that are successful is that they do the fundamentals on a regular basis, year after year. And that's ultimately what sets them apart. They strive to improve. They don't have an ego that basically they decide that they're really good and they never stop improving. Everybody, even Mr. Beast, is slowly, continually trying to get better. All these channels are focused on making quality content and just doing the basics very well and with consistency over a long period of time, and success will find you. Doug Hewson in the house. Good to see you. I can lurk today. So you're almost here is what you're saying. G. Michael Jr., have you heard of Sprizzy? If so, what's your thought on the company? Sprizzy tried to put ads on my videos and I blocked them because I don't think Sprizzy is legit. That's my personal opinion. I have no knowledge of that other than I don't really believe in the business model of having a third-party company work to get me views, because if you understand how YouTube works as much as any of us can, and you optimize your videos and you make content that resonates with your audience, you don't need a third party to get views for you. Ultimately, I have yet to see a third party company that's doing anything than trying to figure out how to hide view farming. And that's ultimately, it's one thing if you have a video and you buy ads on YouTube or something for the purpose of getting more eyeballs on that video, especially when you're selling something. I wouldn't use advertising or marketing as a way to grow your channel. And I feel like Sprizzy's approach is kind of pay us money and we'll get you views and that kind of stuff. And they just aren't for me. If quality content is king, then what do you feel is the queen? So there's a big debate about quality versus quantity. And the last thing I would do is, identify where the king and the queen rank in comparison to each other. I'll leave that for you to decide. But there is obviously an argument between quality versus quantity. You have somebody like Brian G. Johnson, and again, this is just my perspective on him, where it's all about quality. It's getting better, continuing to focus on new ways to make better quality content. You got somebody like Roberto Blake, who is quantity because quantity breeds quality in his mind. You learn a lot if you do a lot of videos. And I tend to think that I believe in quality in the sense of value and not necessarily in production value. So I think you have to maintain a certain level of quality to the point that your quality or lack of quality is not a distraction. But once you achieve a certain level of quality, then I think that quality becomes less important depending on the content. If you're doing cinematic stuff, obviously that's important. But if you're educating people, you're teaching people, you're sharing your passion for a hobby or whatever it is, I think quality kind of has a law of diminishing returns at some point. Once you can make a quality video with a good image and good sound, and you work on your delivery, yes, you can always fine tune it, but I think that at some point, quality starts to slow down in terms of just how much more it's bringing back to you. Now, that said, if you become a master storyteller and you're looking at quality in terms of your storytelling, then yeah, the better storyteller you are, the more compelling your content itself is, then the more potential you have to reach a broader audience. But when it comes to the quantity isn't always king either. So I try to stay somewhere in the middle. I try to gradually improve my quality over time. And I've experimented with quantity in terms of, different approaches to it to see what happens if I do 1 video versus 3 videos a week and that sort of thing. When I first started, I did 3 videos a week for about 6 months because I was trying to build kind of a library and I started from 0. And then for the longest time, I've basically done 1 video a week and then 1 live stream. Recently, I did 5 videos in 8 days, put them up on YouTube, and my 48-hour view count actually went down. So you can't always win. It's not always as simple as work harder and get more results, because there are ebbs and flows. It's kind of like being a ship in the ocean. You got to ride the waves. They'll come and go regardless of how nice the ship is. So just one of those things you gotta do, or you got to experience, and then you just keep playing with it. All right, here. Zugamugo, how do taxes work for YouTube monetization? That is income. So you are required to pay tax on income that you receive, barring all your other tax conditions. But yes, it is taxable income. I include my AdSense revenue with my larger tax return. And yeah, you are subject to pay taxes on any money that you receive from YouTube. And the depending on the dollar amount that you receive determines whether or not, well, in some cases, whether you get, is it a 1099 miscellaneous from, let me see here. Let me look it up real quick, because I think I just got mine from Google. I don't have all the different tax forms memorized. I want to see if I have, Google. Yeah, so Google sends you a 1099 miscellaneous, which shows you that what your ad revenue is from them. And if anybody's curious, my ad revenue for last year was $9,900 and change. So all the more reason why I say don't just live on ad revenue. Find other ways to make money around your YouTube channel. All right, here, let's see. How does tax? We covered that, and we did the king versus queen thing. Oh, thanks for all you do from Ted. Thank you so much, Ted. I appreciate the feedback. What do you do if and when you ever feel like not making content? Do you ever feel unmotivated? How do you mend that? Yes, I feel unmotivated very frequently. And it depends on what. So I typically do 1 video a week, and ideally that 1 video a week would be done on Sunday night and be put out on Monday. Very frequently that doesn't happen. For those of you who don't know, I have a full-time career. I do YouTube on the side. So I go to work all day. I come home, and depending on the day of the week, it may involve me coming home and going to, bringing the kids to their stuff and coming back, as well as anything else that comes up. Any other places we have to be during the week. And then I do all my content either on the weekends or in the evening when the house gets quiet, which when you have 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 kids, waiting for the house to get quiet is kind of a thing that can take a little while. But here's my deal. Here's my approach to when you're not motivated. Obviously, you have to be consistent, but I have a long-term approach to YouTube. Call it a 5-year plan. The goal in that 5-year plan is to be full-time. That means replacing my career with full-time income that is somehow generated or loosely related to content creation. I'm not going to build that to replace my career in a way that's miserable. So to that end, I want to find success in an environment that I enjoy being a part of. And I think people who push themselves, who try to give 150% and hustle, tend to burn themselves out, or they put themselves in a miserable situation. And maybe you make money in the short term, but that's going to start to suck really soon. And I think that you should not be focused on I don't think your end goal should be money. I think your end goal should be happiness and contentment and an enjoyable life. And you need to make that your goal and then find a way to use money as a tool to help you get there. So yes, sometimes you have to work harder. Like I said, I was doing 9 o'clock to midnight, 3 videos a week for quite a while to kind of build up the channel in the beginning. But at the same time, I like to be kind to myself. And if I have a night where I'm just not feeling like making a video, then I don't make a video, because one of the things that I have found is that when I'm really not into it, or it was a long day and I'm tired and I come in here and I force out a video or I force a live stream, then it shows. And it's no matter, like, my regular face, well, if I'm not like high energy and happy, it just looks like I'm miserable and somebody kicked my dog or something. It just doesn't come through good on camera. So that's actually one of the reasons that I switched my live streams to 8 o'clock. I was doing 9 o'clock live streams, and I just got to the point where by the time 9 o'clock rolled around, it was really hard to be upbeat and stuff. So I'm like, okay. And I also used to do them from like 9 o'clock to midnight. So I'm like, I can't do that forever. That's going to burn me out. And so ultimately, I opted to cut them down to an hour. I removed doing all the channel reviews, because there were nights when we did like 20 channel reviews in a row, and it took a really long time to get through that. And half the time it was the same people coming back asking for channel reviews just to hear their name on the live stream, and then they would never change anything. Now, granted, there were some people mixed in who were actually taking the advice and implementing it and helping and growing their channel, and that's awesome. That's exactly what it was intended to be, but it just got to be, too much. And so now I do 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We do 1 hour and an opportunity to just hang out with everybody, answer any specific questions, and, just engage above and beyond a standard video. So it's a really long-winded answer, but hopefully that covers that question. All right, here. So, Hey, Justin, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out in the live stream. All right, so, I'm shaking my camera all over the place. Let's see who else we got in there. Inside Lab covered. Same Blood Media, JDM Nerf Wars. Welcome to the live stream as well. Jay Spence, how long did it take for you to get your first 1,000 subscribers? How did you first it? Because I'm getting way more views than subscribers, which is bittersweet. So you're definitely going to get way more views than subscribers. For me, I was on, it would have been 6.5 months. So at 6.5 months, I think I was around 700 subscribers at 6.5 months. And then YouTube changed the monetization policy, and it was actually kind of a series of events. The monetization policy on YouTube used to be at 10,000 views. So I had done some content around the 10,000 views, and then I started hearing back from people being like, hey, I've been at 10,000 views for a month and I still haven't been monetized. And then it was, 6 weeks and stuff. And I'm like, something bad is going to happen here, because I've worked in corporate America before. I know when there is, no communication for a long time, then the communication that finally comes out is probably not going to be as positive as you'd like it to be. And that ultimately was the case. I saw it coming. They were coming out, and they put out the thing that said, now you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I know at the time, this channel and my other channel were not monetized. And I was trying to get them both monetized. They had both, or my other channel was monetized because it had 10,000 views, but I don't think I had, my channel had not been monetized yet. I had the numbers, but it wasn't approved. So, when they dropped that information, I literally jumped in front of my camera and made a video called what was the very first one? I actually did 2 videos in a row. The one here, I'll tell you what the actual video name is, but, basically, long story short, I opted in that first video to meet everybody where they were on an emotional level and be like, hey, YouTube screwed us again kind of deal, and met that anger and frustration that I knew everybody was feeling, and that video just kind of blew up and took off. I immediately decided the next day I would create a video that was kind of like, okay, we had our time to vent, but now we got to get to work because we want to get to the new monetization thing. And that second video that I did the day after, that first one that probably got like 50,000 views, I think it's still the top video on my channel. It's got like 550,000 views. It's probably brought in like 16,000 subscribers to the channel. So I kind of went from 750 subscribers up to like 6,000 in a couple weeks. So it was kind of crazy in that regard. But in terms of getting views but not getting subscribers, one, I would make sure that you are focused on a niche, that you're as concentrated as possible. So when somebody watches your content, they can look at your other videos and say, yes, this is somebody that I want to tune into on a regular basis because they're providing the value that I'm looking for. The other thing is, and there's mixed evidence and thoughts on calls to action. Personally, I still use them, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I've been on live streams for people that I enjoy watching and not even thought to like hit the likes up button. I always say likes up button. Hit the likes up button until somebody mentioned it on screen. So I think kind of reminding people, hey, you're enjoying what you're watching, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and YouTube is going to alert you to future videos that you're going to like, just like this one. So I would definitely mix in a call to action, be as focused as possible, and focus on those small improvements rather than the subscriber number. If you, strive to make better videos with each one, you don't handcuff yourself and by not uploading because you don't think it's good enough. If you're consistent, regularly putting out videos and content, that 1,000 subscribers is going to take care of itself. I would try to focus on getting 100 videos out and improving each time before I worry about getting to 1,000 subscribers. All right, and let's see. Oh, anybody else that does live streams hate the way the chat scrolls? I know I mentioned this almost in every live stream because you try to scroll down and you get the little blue circle with the arrow in it, and then it gets to a certain point and then just throws you to the very bottom of the chat. So, it's just it's kind of not very helpful. Justin Brown, love it. Big fan of anti-hustle. Liking that hashtag. All right, here. And answer me this question, please. Which PC configuration is optimal for editing in 4K? You're asking the wrong dude. It's funny, though, because I was actually there was like high-level nerd conversation going on Facebook about this, and they were talking about trying to obviously 4K is a lot more taxing on your system, and they were talking about whether or not a certain laptop could handle it. But I honestly don't know the specs on a PC. I bet you if you just Googled or did a search on YouTube for PC specs for 4K video editing, you'd probably get plenty of videos that would help you answer that question. But that's what I would do. If I decided I wanted to start doing 4K video, I would for sure start it with a Google search or YouTube. All right. I have a question about YouTube monetization tab and analytics tab. My monetization tab and analytics show two different numbers. You're going to have to be more specific than that. What numbers are you comparing on those? I don't think that the monetization tab... here, hang on. I didn't think the monetization tab you must mean at the top of analytics. So if you click on, there's a revenue tab. There's a monetization tab on the left, but I don't think that really shows dollar amounts. Let's see. Does it do? No, well, no, it doesn't really. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really get into that. So clarify what you're talking about and where we're looking. There is a revenue tab, and you got your estimated revenue there, and then I see estimated revenue on the main page, and those look good. So yeah, let me know exactly where you're looking. We'll try to get that question answered for you. Is it better to have non-skippable ads or skippable ads on your video? Yes. Leave all of your ad types checked. Unless you're trying to not make certain money, I would just leave everything checked and let YouTube sort it out. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. I've never unchecked any of the ad types. Anything that YouTube wants to put out there, I'm going to let them do it. So that is how I roll on that front. Video Zeus, yeah, that's the 1,000, 4,000 was the video I found you. A lot of people did. That was kind of my welcome to YouTube party was that video. Turned a bad situation into a positive one. Yeah, it definitely worked out that way for me. And it was interesting because my other channel that was actually monetized didn't make it to the requirements. So they basically came in January or whenever it was. It was mid-January, and they were like, hey, you have till the end of the month to meet the requirements or we're taking your monetization away. So that other channel that had been monetized for a couple years lost its monetization, and then this channel picked up and got its monetization going because of the monetization video. It was kind of a weird thing. All right. Fully involved. I've started to use the subscribe button call to action, and it worked well. Fantastic. That is what we hope it will do. Justin Brown, editing in 4K. Is that looks like it? Yeah. So perhaps Justin Brown can tell us what the best specs are for editing in 4K, because I surely do not know. Oh, Inside the Lab PC Tech. An 8-core, 16-thread CPU would be great for 4K editing. So we are getting some feedback on the Ryzen. See, that was one of the things that they were talking about, which is not something that I've actually heard of. So yeah, definitely check out the chat because people are giving you just what you're looking for on the 4K front. Specs on that. All kinds of great resources out there. JDM Nerf Wars just asking Xbox or PlayStation. So for us personally, I have 2 kids, and we have, what do we have? We have, did we get rid of we might have finally gotten rid of the Wii. We have an Xbox One and 2 Nintendo Switches. And my kid wants the PlayStation, but I'm kind of tired of buying gaming consoles for the kids. So that's where we're at right now. I'm not saying that Xbox is better, because I don't know that it is, but that is our current console situation in the Currier house. Right. So here is anybody who ever wants to reach me by email. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. Oh, and that's kind of, well, it made it, maybe it just makes it look funny to me because it tagged Creator Fundamentals in the middle of it. Michael Kinney, not often. 1080 works fine for me considering mobile viewing, but 4K, fast storage, SSD at a minimum. Yeah, I mean, I imagine at some point I will transition to 4K, but the type of content that I do, I mean, well, right now we're doing, I don't even know. This is the Logitech C920, so I'm not even, I don't remember if this is 720 or, I guess it might, I don't even know. I think it's 1080. It could be 1080. Let me look. I think it actually says it. Yes, HD 1080. So, but you can never, I mean, don't get me started on Logitech. I love this camera, and I love how well you can tweak it, but like this video right now, Not happy with it. I don't like the way this video looks. But Logitech software is awful. As much as I like the camera, every time you turn off the computer, it resets the settings, and trying to get them back to what they were is a nightmare. And I had to buy a new C920, and every time, this is like my third Logitech C920, every time I buy one, it comes with different software. What are you doing over there, Logitech? Hire somebody or outsource your software. Get some consistency on there. Plus, the software that comes with Logitech has less controls on it than when I set up the Logitech in OBS as a source. So in OBS, I can actually do finer adjustments on the C920 than I can using Logitech's own software. It doesn't make sense. I have no idea. Let's see. Videos, I used to think the same thing coming from Avid to Premiere. I used to think Final Cut Pros. It turns out I was a joke for not taking it more seriously. So does that mean you are Final Cut Pro now? Let's see. It's slower to edit 4K, even all kinds of good conversation going out there about 4K video editing. Yeah, see, I don't even know if because I have I have my main system here, which is, I don't know. I don't even know if this could do, let's see here. I'll let somebody out there tell me if they think this machine could handle 4K video editing. So this is a Dell XPS 8920 with an i7 7700 CPU at 4.2 gigahertz and 4 cores. It has 16 gigs of RAM. And what is my graphics card? Hardware, components. This is, I have a GeForce GTX 1060 6 gig graphics card. I think this computer's 2 years old, maybe. But I don't know what the, I mean, it does pretty good on 1080 and stuff, so. And I use Premiere Pro to edit. So is the C920 better than the Brio? I don't know that it's better. I've heard good things about the Brio, and I've strongly considered buying the Brio. Just haven't done it yet. But the thing that stopped me is I hear that all of Logitech's cameras have crappy software, so that kind of slowed me down in the process. Let's see. I have another question. What makes a channel stagnant and not grow? Is there a method for more people to see you and discover your content? So depending on when, like I said, what makes channels not grow is inconsistency. If people don't know what your channel is about and you're not delivering consistent content on a particular theme, that can certainly slow it down. A lot of people who go out and do vlog channels, they're basically trying to get people to fall in love with their personality because their videos are all over the place and they're vlogging about stuff that's not, that nobody's looking for specifically. So that can certainly hurt. And I think that it's my personal opinion. Like I'm really big into searchable content because I think one of the things that people struggle with when they are solely focused on suggested video, which I know can provide a whole lot more attention and videos that blow up and all that. But I think having a good, strong core of searchable content helps you from a growth perspective in the sense that those evergreen videos are going to last for a while. Even the suggested videos, they'll spike and then they kind of fall out of favor and kind of go away depending on what the content is, whereas your searchable content is going to continue to provide you with views for years potentially. And when you start stacking those up and you have 100, 200, 300 videos that are all doing that, they all feed into the channel and help the channel grow. And maybe every once in a while, you really nail a video that gets picked up and suggested and gives you some incremental, some exponential gains on occasion. But yeah, I mean, for me, if you continue to focus on searchable content, here's the deal. YouTube's the #2 search engine. It's really simple to make a YouTube channel when you think about why people use YouTube. Sure, some people come for entertainment. Some people come with questions. They want to learn how to do something. And if you just understand what those questions are, what people are trying to learn how to do on YouTube, and you make content that fulfills that delivers value to them for those particular things, then you have an opportunity to grow. Maybe you fix cars and you're going to show them how to change an alternator or change a battery or how to do a brake job, and you put content out there and you optimize it for search. So people who are looking for particular things, I can tell you with certainty, multiple times I was laying on my back in my father's driveway with my cell phone under the car doing a search for a YouTube video to figure out how to get some peace off my car. Thankfully, I haven't had to crawl under a car in a couple of years now, but that's how I started my other channel, The Average Dan, was doing car repairs. And when I couldn't find a good video, I would figure it out, and then I would make my own video. But I would absolutely be under the car, staring at a video, trying to figure out the solution to my problem by searching, how do you remove the caliper, or, what size nut is it, or anything. And then that's just all stuff that is out there that people are actively searching for, and you have the opportunity to tap into that just by understanding what problems people are trying to solve and stepping in and being the solution. So I have a question for you, Justin. With using Final Cut Pro, obviously you're on a Mac. What do you think how much more expensive is a Mac that can do the same thing as a PC? The same specs. I know the specs are a little bit different. The Mac OS is a little more, perhaps a little more stable or well integrated than perhaps PCs are and Windows machines. But I'm curious, the cost difference. Is it 2, 3, 4 times as much to get a Mac that can do the same thing process-wise as a PC, or are they closer than that? All right. Illusion C922 Pro Streaming Webcam is a personal favorite. Let's see here. Aaron, have you used rapid tags? No. You're going to have to tell me what rapid tags is. I do not know what rapid tags is. What should first video be about? What and about how long? Any video should only be as long as it absolutely needs to be. In terms of what your first video should be about, you need to decide what you want to make content about. But the reality is, it's so much more important to get started and get familiar with the process that you can kind of evolve the focus of your channel as you go along. And I wouldn't get too caught up in trying to find the perfect topic for your first video or even worrying about how long it is. Make a video, figure out generally what you're interested in, make a video on that, get it uploaded, and reflect on it. And as you continue to go, as people start to interact with your content, that may give you some direction and help you to understand exactly, what interests you the most, what people respond to, and what you enjoy making. Older channel that has 800 subs. I'm thinking of resurrecting it because I'm thinking it would be better with my name. Any issues on resurrecting that channel with my current 800 plus subscribers? So if you have 800 subscribers on the channel, as long as you're resurrecting it on the same topic that those 800 people joined your channel for, then that may work for you. if you try to go in a completely different direction, there's probably a good chance that some of those people will leave, or that most of them won't be interested in your new content. And that's just something to consider in terms of you keep putting out videos and your audience isn't responding to them. If it's completely separate topic, I might consider going with a fresh channel, except if it's a topic that might also be interesting or be relevant to the people that you pulled in the beginning. So if it's like, if you're doing outdoors and you're switching to fishing, then maybe there's going to be some overlap there between those 800 and your new content. And I would probably stick on that channel. If it was, tractor repair and you're switching to doll collecting, I would probably not do that. I would not bother trying to resurrect an old channel. But the closer it is to that original topic, I think the much better chance you have of kind of rekindling the interest from some of those 800. Oh, so rapid tags, you enter the title of your video and it gives you tags for your videos, makes it a simple process. I actually tend to use Morning Fame to do research like that. I start in Morning Fame and then use some of the keyword features from TubeBuddy as well. But yeah, for Morning Fame, it's basically the same kind of thing. You find a topic, it grades that topic and gives you an idea of your potential to rank against others who have covered it, and it tells you how much interest there is in that particular topic, and then it compiles the keywords, the keyword phrases that I think are associated with the top performing videos, and then you can kind of take out the ones you want, add others. So I probably spend about 5 minutes doing keyword research on a video. All right, No Dough Acres, enjoy dinner. Yeah, see that is, I feel like this video is blurry, and I don't understand why. Let me try moving over here a little bit, because I feel like the view on YouTube is slightly different than what I'm seeing in OBS, and I don't want to keep leaning out of the screen here. All right, let's see where we're at. Modern Day Tech, good to see you. Apps That Rule, what's going on, Joe? Yeah, Nico over at Morning Fame does an awesome job with that. Hey, Jeremy Vest is in the chat as well. Good to see you, sir. Let's see. I think I caught all the questions. Again, if you have any questions in the chat, just tag at Creator Fundamentals, and I will do my best to reach those. But I think we're caught up. If I missed your question, type it again, because I hate scrolling back and forth in this thing. All right, yeah, we covered that one. I think we're good. All right, guys, so real quick, for those of you who came in the live stream late, I just want to remind all of you that I'm hosting a conference called People of Video in May 2nd and 3rd, Albany, New York. We're bringing in experts in online video to share all their knowledge and tell you, share their stories and their tips, tricks, and tactics for growing a successful YouTube channel and growing through online video in general. So if you haven't heard of it yet, check this out, and I'd love to meet you in person at People of Video. So there it is, people of video, closing in 86 days away. Super excited to have that conference for the first time in Albany, New York. And again, thank you to Video Zeus in the chat for creating that awesome promo video. I love it. Tell us more about people of video, any new updates. So the latest update is we brought in one more speaker because I wanted to make it extremely difficult on myself to fit all of these amazing speakers into a 2-day event. So it is jam-packed. I actually had to tweak the, it's actually going from 8 to 5:30 on Saturday and Sunday because we have so many awesome speakers. And so we just added Vanessa Lau. She is going to be sharing her amazing journey from quitting corporate America to creating a, her own business and multiple 6 figures on Instagram and YouTube, and she's just absolutely crushing it, and it's exciting to have her. But yeah, I mean, everything is going well. I can actually mention it here. We have our title sponsor is going to be Prism Live Studio. For those of you who don't know, Prism Live Studio makes a very cool live streaming app that allows you to go live on your mobile device, even if you're under 1,000 subscribers for YouTube. They are going to be the title sponsor of People of Video. Super excited to have them as a title sponsor. They're a great company. Love the people over there that I've been working with. TubeBuddy is also a sponsor of the event as well. So we are just absolutely psyched to be putting this all together, and thrilled to be able to bring all these amazing speakers here to the East Coast. And I was having a conversation earlier, talking about how somebody had mentioned that, all the big successful YouTubers tend to be out in the West Coast, and we certainly want to change that for those on the East Coast that may not be able to drop $3,000 and go to Los Angeles to meet with everybody. We're creating a more affordable, more local option here on the East Coast, and we want it to be the hub of content creation here in the Eastern United States. So super thrilled for People of Video, and we continue to plug away. I have people that are helping me organize everything to get all that ironed out, and could not be more excited to get it going. But at the same time, I still have a ton of work to do, so I'll use these next 3 months to work on that. So how much are the tickets? So the tickets actually increase every month, but you know what? And let me grab tickets right now for attendees are $349. But I'll tell you what, if anybody is interested in attending People of Video and they can order their ticket today, I will put a link in the chat that will allow you to take $200 off your attendee ticket. So you can get to People of Video, get admission to the 2-day event for $149. So give me 2 seconds and I'll put that in there. I'm going to set it to only work for today. So if you're interested in going, if you've thought about attending a conference, if you're here on the East Coast and you haven't pulled the trigger yet, you're definitely going to walk away from this event with just an absolute new appreciation and renewed energy for content creation, being in a room with all these amazing people. So let's see here. I'm going to actually go in here and drop a promotional code here. Let's see, new code, this event, promo code, attendee tickets. We'll knock this thing out here right now. Continue. We're going to call it that, and ends on a specific date today. So, and it's 9 o'clock here, or almost 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. So you're going to have 3 hours to take advantage of this deal. We'll do that. Live stream, view shareable link, comment. All right. So if anybody's interested in going to People of Video, you can follow that link that I just put in the chat right now up until midnight tonight, which is 3 hours from now because I'm East Coast United States. That'll give you $200 off the ticket, allow you to attend the 2-day event for $149. So love to have you there. You get to meet all these cool people, Nick Nemeth, Brian G. Johnson, Cody Warner, Tim Schmoyer. It's going to be an absolute amazing event. We got Michael Kenny in the chat. He's also going to be speaking. All of us getting the chance to speak in person. So here, real quick, since he finally decided to show up in the live stream, my brother Rich just entered the chat. His channel name is This Life Outdoors. He's got a blue wrench next to his name. He is closing in on a milestone that is, making me look bad. But he is, I think he's four days away from his 6-month mark, and he is going to hit over 1 million views by his 6-month mark, and he's going to be really, really close to reaching 10,000 subscribers by his 6-month mark. So if you appreciate outdoor content, if you like, he did a really cool video on a pallet wood cabin that they built out on land here in upstate New York. Definitely go check out his channel. Let's get him as many subscribers as we can, only if you like that type of content and you plan on watching it. But I definitely recommend you check out that pallet wood build. Him and my father did the majority of the work, and it's a really impressive thing. And then there's also on my channel, The Average Dan, there's a video that pairs with his about us spending the first night in that cabin. So definitely check him out. He's closing in, and 10,000 in 6 months is ridiculous. As somebody who tries to share information on YouTube, I'm like, well, you got to be patient, and you got to, understand that, these things can take time. You got to get the ball rolling, and then we're closing in on 6 months, and he's going to have almost 10,000 subscribers. Hopefully he'll find that late push to get to 10,000 subscribers before the 6-month mark. But either way, if it's 6 months and a week, it'll be 6 months when the stories get retold. But absolutely awesome. And his channel has just been cruising along and getting like 20,000 views a day and making me jealous. All right. So that Nathan, you're the second person that mentioned the no more demonetization. I'm gonna have to look into that because I'm not quite sure. What the specifics are. I haven't seen any. Let's see. Any major outlets talking about the idea of doing away with demonetization, and on the surface that doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't really have an opinion on it until I find some content on it, because I don't understand what the goal is there. Aaron, volunteers, yes. If you are interested in volunteering for People of Video, if you can make it there, you do have to cover your own transportation and hotel stay, but you will get free entry into the People of Video conference to come and volunteer and help me and the rest of the crew put on a conference for everybody. Then volunteering is also an option for you. I'm going to grab that link as well. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, obviously, the expectation is that you're going to come and spend the 2 days helping with things to keep the conference running. But there is a link. I'm going to put it in there to come and volunteer at the event as well. We are still accepting volunteers and you can put your information in there. Make sure you fill out that form as completely as possible. And do recognize that you do have to get yourself to Albany, New York for May 2nd and 3rd. So that is something to keep in mind. C4 Defense, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. All right. Doug says he's not heard anything. I'm assuming that's related to the demonetization thing, because that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So yeah, if you want to come out and help the conference run over those 2 days, definitely fill out the volunteer form. We'd love to have you. So the very first time that I went to attend a conference, I, probably had the same thoughts that all of you did. I'm like, well, that's more money than I'd like to spend, and I don't know if it'll be worth it. And just to give you a concept, the first time I did that was in 2017. I had 400 subscribers on my YouTube channel when I went to my first conference out in Los Angeles. This year, 3 years later, less than 3 years later, 2.5, I'm now hosting a conference. And because of the people that I met in person through attending other conferences, Brian G. Johnson, Nick Nimmin, Cody Warner, Tim Schmoyer, all of these people I was able to meet in person and develop a relationship with, to the point where now they're coming and speaking at my conference. Think about that. It's absolutely amazing. It's such a game changer to meet people in person. My brother, This Life Outdoors, is actually going to attend the conference as well. It's going to be his first opportunity to get into a room with other content creators and just experience just that synergy that's created, where you're surrounded by all the people who are highly successful in doing the thing that you really want to do. And, it's just the knowledge transfer that takes place, plus the relationships that you form. You never know when they're going to, how they're going to come back. Dale Roberts, somebody that I met at the very first conference, he's also a speaker, and he's emceeing the conference as well. So, and I'm actually speaking. I'll be speaking down at VidFest, which is part of PodFest down in Orlando, Florida, in March, and he's speaking down there as well. So and just all these little things that come together. I actually received a contact from him. Dale called me and he was like, hey, I know this guy, he's doing this big online summit, and I threw your name in as somebody who, might be able to give some perspective about YouTube. Again, just something that came out from that relationship of meeting somebody in person and starting to build those relationships within content creation and all that have led to all these different opportunities. For him, it led to an opportunity to MC for the first time at People of Video. For me, he's calling me and giving me additional exposure by going and being part of this summit that I would have had no knowledge of otherwise. And it's something that's good because it's outside of my normal YouTube content creation kind of world, and allows you to get more exposure in surrounding areas. So all the way around, getting there, meeting these people, it just keeps paying you back, and it's definitely worth it. So if you're on the fence, you should strongly consider it. And hey, if money is your biggest obstacle, reach out to me at AskDan at Creator Fundamentals and let me know. And I will do my best to help you get there. But I really think that if you're serious about growing a YouTube channel, that attending a conference in person can really give you a whole new perspective on what's possible and help you achieve it. All right, let's see where we're current here. Irby Vlog, what happens to my watch hours if I delete a video? YouTube has now stated that in order for monetization, the 4,000 watch hours are for public hours, which means if you delete a video or you set it to private, that watch time no longer counts towards your watch time total. So it will go away as far as your public watch hours. So that's basically what's going to happen on that regard. All right. Hey, KTP Wrestling, aka Predictor. All right. Looking forward to. Awesome. Paul's testing rants. I know this is incorrect thinking. Do you have any words of encouragement that can put my mind at ease? Let's see. I've set up a new vegan channel. I want to, but am reluctant to post my face and voice on camera. Thumbnails, as I don't fit the stereotype of the skinny, hot, hippie vegan blogger. You know, sometimes different is better than better. So I think creating a channel where you don't look like everybody else is actually an advantage for you. So rather than, thinking that you don't fit the mold, the best thing you can do is be different from everybody else. So I think that's actually an asset for you, that you can create a channel that looks different, that you look different, that you're a different personality than everything else that's out there. And that's going to set you apart from the crowd. And it could help you to be even more successful than if you were exactly how you phrased that, a skinny, hot, hippie vegan vlogger. So I think that you should view your difference as an asset, and I think it can be what really defines you and your channel and sets you apart from everybody else. All right, guys, it is 9 o'clock. We are wrapping up for the evening. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out on the live stream. It has been an awesome time as always, but even awesome times have to end, and we have surpassed our time frame here. So if you are new to the channel, if you're on the live stream, definitely click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss future live streams and content that can help you simplify YouTube. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out tonight, and I will see you guys in the next video, if I can ever end this live stream. But yeah, it's been a good time as always, and we will definitely see you again real soon. Take care.